Welcome back to another college football breakdown video. We're into week 9 of the college football season, and we've got an ACC matchup between Notre Dame and Syracuse. Jumping into the stats for both teams, we've got Notre Dame offensively scoring 26.6 points per game. They also have 207.9 passing yards per game and just over 178 rushing yards per game. Defensively, they're giving up just under 22 points per game. They're giving up 202 yards through the air per game and just under 140 rushing yards per game. Then for Syracuse, offensively, they're averaging just under 34 points per game with 233 yards through the air and just under 180 rushing yards per game. Defensively, they're giving up just over 15 points per game, and they're giving up about 171 passing yards per game and 123 rushing yards per game. So looking at the stats, neither offense is great throwing the ball, but both have done a great job at running the ball. And it kind of reflects that in both defenses. I mean, neither team is great at defending the run, but they're phenomenal at throw or at defending the pass. So I'd expect both teams to kind of run the ball in this game and attack each defense's weakness. And it'll probably be a pretty ball dominant game. Expect the point total to be low with the clock always running and each team running the ball predominantly. I wouldn't expect a ton of points to be scored. Looking at the against the spread stats, Notre Dame's 3-4 overall on the year against the spread, but they are 2-0 as the away team and as an away underdog. Syracuse, on the other hand, 6-1 overall this year against the spread. 4-1 as the home team and 3-1 as a home favorite. So nothing really sticks out. Both teams in their, respective scenario has been pretty solid against the spread. So nothing really makes me lean either way in this game. But looking at the over unders, we're also going to see that Notre Dame is 2-5 in the over this season, being 1-1 on the road, and Syracuse is also 2-5 in their overs this season, being 1-4 at home. This is making me lean more towards the under. I mean, I just kind of mentioned it with the rushing stats. Both teams are going to look to play physical football, keep the ball on the ground. They're not going to be throwing the ball that much. So for this game, I would expect it to go under. I mean, both teams are 2-5 this year in overs, and Syracuse has shown they've like to go under at home. In terms of the all-time series, Notre Dame leads the all-time series with a 7-3 record, and they have won the last 4 meetings. However, those Notre Dame teams were considerably different and better than the team this year, as well as Syracuse teams have not nearly been as good as this year's team in years past. So it's a little bit of a different matchup than we've seen in years past. Looking at the line movement, we'll see that the spread opened up originally at Notre Dame plus 4.5, and it has moved down to Notre Dame plus 2.5. I'm not exactly sure why. I think Syracuse is the better team here, and they're at home. Maybe a lot of people were betting Notre Dame plus the 4.5. So the books are trying to cause more bets to go Syracuse's way, but I'm not entirely sure why it has moved down. The point total opened up at 54.5, and it has moved down to 48, kind of like what I was talking about here. Both teams are probably going to be running the ball quite a bit, so there's not going to be a ton of points scored. So the books are kind of reflecting that by moving the total down. And 60% of the public is on Syracuse to cover. For me, my picks this game, I like Syracuse to cover. Notre Dame has struggled so far this season, and they struggle to throw the ball. So I think if each team is going to make each other one-dimensional, I like the home aspect of Syracuse, being in the dome and playing on their home turf. I've kind of talked about it. Both teams are very susceptible to the run, but they defend the pass really well. So it should be an interesting game, maybe a little bit of a boring game from that standpoint. But if you love watching, tough, gritty, hard-nosed football, then this will be the game for you. And then when it comes to the total, I'm probably going to stay away from it. I do like the under, but the books have kind of reflected that they're expecting this game to go under as well. So they moved it down to 48 points. I mean, for a couple long runs, and you're sitting at a handful of touchdowns, so you never know what you're going to get in this game. 48 points, kind of right in that sweet spot where I don't know if it could go over or under. It's not a ton of points for the total. So I'm just going to stay away from it and just take Syracuse to cover. And since I'm taking just the spread in this game, I don't have really preference either way on the total at with it being at 48. I'm not going to have a parlay for this game. I'm sure there's some player stats, like if you wanted to combine Syracuse covering with some of the running backs' rushing stats, that would probably be a pretty good bet for this game. But I'm just gonna stay away from it. And that's kind of all I have to add on this game. If you have a different opinion or you just kind of want to voice what your thoughts are on this game, feel free to do so in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and also, if you're looking for more videos like this, more game breakdowns in the future, definitely hit that subscribe button. But that's it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.